T-minus 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Hey guys, it's Craig at Area 419. It's February 1st, so we are starting today shipping our M Series dies. It means if you've got one of these ordered, it'll be in your mailbox soon, or if you're looking at ordering one and want to know how to set it up, here we go. I have in my hand the shell holder as well as the die. The first step, let's install the shell holder. No tricks here. If you're on a 0, simply thread it on, and as you get toward tight, I'm going to tell you to make sure that the mouth of your shell holder is ergonomically placed. I like mine just a little bit tilted to the left. It's the way that I load. Once that's done, we're going to run the ram up, and let's thread in the die until it touches the ram. You'll start to feel a little bit of pressure right as you get to the bottom, because you're gonna want to go ahead and slide this down or thread this in until it compresses your sizing sleeve. Once we're in, we're going to lower the ram like a traditional die. I'm going to thread it in about 3/8 more of a thread, maybe a quarter, maybe an eighth, depending on feel. So I get a nice firm seat like that on the bottom of the 0. Now that it's in with pressure on, I'm going to run the locking ring down, and using my supplied wrench, make sure she's nice and tight. At that point, your die body is set. The next thing you'll do with this pressure still here is run down this micrometer head until it doesn't want to go anymore. What that means is the die is now set up to size your brass down to about factory new size. This may be a little further than you want to go. So, you can size a piece of brass, see how far it takes it, or back it off maybe about 4 thousandths. That's going to get a pretty close shoulder bump for most people. But again, you're going to dial it in very simply with the micrometer on top. If it's a brand new die, understand that the first handful of cases you run through it, 3, 4, 5 of them, you may see the sizing be a little bit odd. This is how the brand new die is settling in. You're getting lubrication inside it, so don't be alarmed by that. You may not see that problem at all. Just understand that it is possible with a brand new product. So, guys, that's how you set it up. That's how you can be successful with it. Got any more questions? Let us know.
T-minus 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Hey guys, it's that time of year again. It's April 19th, or 419 Day. For the last handful of years, this time of year, we've always celebrated and talked about what we're doing in the shop, some new things to come, and of course, a really nice sale for 419 Day. I'm standing here high above our new shop expansion. In February, we moved into this new space, more than doubling our footprint here at the shop. This gives us obviously more space for machinery, but what this expansion was really about was more space for our teams in assembly and product management and fulfillment to be able to do our jobs as we push into a year of innovation and new products. As far as products this year, we've already rolled out the M-Series sizing die. This has been a really big hit for us, and we know we're changing the way that people are going about sizing in their zero reloading presses. We've got the traditional setups for those coming, so you can drop that in your rock chucker. The modular inserts for those coming, so that body can be changed from Dasher to Creedmoor to GT, or the new calibers that we're gonna have on market soon, 308, 65 PRC, a whole lot of new products coming there. We also have the S-Series sizing die coming sometime in the next few months. This process has really become refined, and the product that we're turning out is the best on the market, and when they're in your hands, you're gonna understand that. We also rolled out last year our scope mounts. Our two-piece rings are in market, the match scope rings, they've done well. We've got more SKUs, more heights, more tubes coming, as well as our one piece that's set up for a more tactical situation, bigger, more robust, with lots of options. You may see that today as well. While reloading, scope mounting, and ARCA pretty well cover what we've got coming in this year with our new products, we're also really excited to announce today an opportunity for you to become part of Team Area 419. We're gonna talk about that more at length. We've also got something that's really special to us from a charitable standpoint with the Special Forces Charitable Trust. You're gonna learn about that, a really special edition product that we think you'll find super cool that's gonna benefit a really great cause. So guys, it's 419 Day. You know the drill. We're gonna have a sale this weekend until Sunday, 10% off everything on the site with code 419day23. We're also gonna have really great savings on all of our merch and apparel. We love blowing that out on 419 Day and then having space for new things as we get into the spring and summer. So guys, hang with us. We're gonna be here live from the shop. The machines will be whirring. We'll be in our new studio, and we're gonna take your questions, show you the things that you wanna know about, talk about our year, and connect with you as Area 419. Guys, this is the 5th or the 6th year that we've officially celebrated 419 Day, and every year it's a day that we're really grateful for your support, for you being our customers, and for the opportunity to do something that we love, that we hope adds a lot of value and enjoyment to something that we know that you love. Hey guys, welcome to 419 Day. I think the last time we went live might have been 419 Day 2020 in lockdown, where it was the zero on a render on John's TV in his office. So it's been a little bit, and we're happy to be with you. So welcome. I think this is the 5th 419 Day that we've made a thing out of. I think that was maybe 2018 was the first one, and we did the sweet Addis t-shirts. But it's been a wild ride. I'm Craig.
I'm John.
And we're really pleased to be with you. 419 Day, we always do a big sale. We always do some cool things, but we really like today to be about thanking you guys for being our customers, for being our followers. And John, take a minute and talk about what's gone on here in the last year or so.
So if you guys follow us, you know over the past 5 years our growth has been fairly rapid and large. We moved from my house back in 2020 into the new shop here. 21. Yeah, 2 years ago. Built it in 20. So we moved from 5,000 square feet into 18,000 square feet. And then basically before we even fully got moved in, we realized we were outgrowing that space. So we started planning the next addition. Luckily, we planned for it on the first building to be expanded out the south. So starting about a little over a year after we moved into the new building, we broke ground on another 25,000 square foot expansion. So we just moved into that a couple months ago. We're sitting at, 43,000 square feet now.
It's about an acre.
We added a lot of assembly space. That was a big thing. We needed some more warehousing space. And then we got 3 truck docks. And we have another probably 10,000 square feet of machine shop space should we need it in the future. We just wanted to be able to react quickly if we needed it, and we basically were out of room to add machines if we needed to. So we've added some more machining capacity, some stuff that we haven't had in-house before. We brought in a screw machine, a Star Swiss, so we can make all of our fasteners, custom fasteners, in-house now. 2 horizontals now, so we're just really focusing on making sure everything can stay in stock before we started pushing out new products again, which we'll start to talk about here in a little bit about what's coming out in the future here.
2020 and 2021 were wild on that front, because before that we were always in a place where when we wanted a new product, we could call Clinton or whoever we're getting raw materials from, and we could have things in and we could make them. And when our initial runs of something were 100 parts, John has an idea, he goes out and makes one of something, and we can basically have all we need in short order. Material would show up in a matter of days. Tooling was never a problem. Machine growth was never a problem. And then 2020, 2021, 2022, we're going through COVID and global supply chain, and things became very difficult. And we saw certain things like
Zero was
the Zero
at its
explodes.
highest.
I mean, we've shipped thousands of presses at this point, and we went from a place where we could be super nimble and agile because the market was ready for it, supply chain was ready for it, and our numbers were compact enough that we could do it, to suddenly you can't get machines, you can't get material, you can't get packaging. We had certain packaging that went from 60-day lead times to 180-day lead times, or much longer than that, virtually overnight. So the last few years has been wild, and guys, I can't let you know how much we appreciate it. As we go through this stream, by the way, make sure that you drop your questions in these feeds. We're on 2 different YouTube channels, Area 419 and Team Area 419, as well as 2 different Facebook channels, Area 419 and Team Area 419. So we want to hear from you and answer as we go here, because we're going to give you updates on us, some things that we're doing, some products, things we have going on, but we also want to hear from you. So typically 419 Day is about a new product, sales, some things like that. But John, 3-4 months ago, you came in and said, hey, let's do something different this year. Let's do some real give back stuff. So talk about what you had in mind.
Yeah, it seemed like we'd never really hit on trying to give back to the community that supports us. It's always tough when you're a small business growing to think about just straight up donating such large amounts of money. So we've gotten to the point where we can do something like this, and the Zero is at a point where our capacity on it has grown to the point where we can keep up with demand on it. So we wanted to do something cool, something that would generate enough dollar amount to make a difference. So sitting behind us here, we've got a totally blacked out Zero, kind of a limited edition that we're donating to the
Special Forces Charitable Trust. Yeah, so we send a lot of stuff to prize tables, guys. We're probably supporting 150 matches a year. We get requests every single day. That's something that we've become accustomed to. This is an effort to give in a very different and meaningful and tangible way to people that we haven't been able to support before and matter so much. And as we've grown as a company and gotten into different products and different things, met different people, the Special Forces community is one that we've connected with in some ways. We've got good friends in it, and knew that they're doing something for us that we can never repay. But this is a cool opportunity we saw to take a product of ours in the Zero that's been massively popular and turn that into something that gives back meaningfully. So again, behind us, this is serial number 1 of 25. Sarah, go find that thing on BCam. Let's get in tight on it. This is a limited edition press. There are 25 of these made. You can order one right now. Price on these is $1,500. $1,000 of that is going directly to the Special Forces Charitable Trust and their Beyond the Battlefield initiative. This initiative is to provide resources to members of the Special Forces community coming back from from battle areas, from war, and wanting to invest in their mental and emotional health. Guys, and the way we're doing this is that $1,500, that's a $1,000 donation to them, and that is a big pile of raw materials for us. All the machine time, all that we've got into it, all of the time of the people around here to make that happen, that's on us. We're eating that. And again, this is a very limited run of these. At the end of this, when these sell out, we're going to write a $25,000 check to Beyond the Battlefield. And we think it is a good way for us to take away that we've been very fortunate and help some of those who are so deserving of that help. If you want one of these, by the way, check the comments. We've got a handful of people from the shop. Nathan's over here, and we've got Zach on a screen. We've got Tyler on a screen. We're all feeding comments and links. So go ahead and look in those comments, and you'll find that link to the Special Forces Charitable Trust Press. There will also be an email hitting your inbox in the next hour or so that will also have that link. So that one's really important. We've got a little more information on it that we're going to go ahead and show you now. Hey guys, it's Craig at Area 419. This year for 419 Day, we're going to do something a little bit different. Typically 419 Day is a day to update you about what we're doing around the shop, stuff that's coming new, and generically celebrate that we've made it through another year and are excited about some things to come. But this year, we're adding a layer to it. We're partnered with the Special Forces Charitable Trust and their Beyond the Battlefield initiative, selling limited edition Blackout Zero reloading presses. And $1,000 from each of these purchases is going directly to the Special Forces Charitable Trust. That means together, with a limited series of these presses, we're going to send $25,000 to the Special Forces Charitable Trust to help their Beyond the Battlefield initiative. These presses are going to, again, be limited edition. Only 25 of them are made. And at $1,500 each, it's your donation to the Special Forces Charitable Trust and the cost of materials. We're putting our time and our energy into this just like you're putting your dollars into supporting this very worthy cause. The $25,000 that we're going to give to the Special Forces Charitable Trust is going to their Beyond the Battlefield initiative, which is specifically geared to help those returning from war deal with some of the traumas that they faced. So we hope with these presses you'll join us in supporting those members of our Special Forces who come home and need our help. They're Beyond the Battlefield and the Special Forces Charitable Trust. We think we can do just a little bit to show our thanks to those who deserve it so much. All right, guys, so we're going to get back to some new product stuff, but before we do, we brought Nathan on, and we're going to talk about some of the things that we're doing in the shooting community, specifically a couple matches that we're sponsoring this year. So the first one on the docket would be the Snipers Unknown Challenge at Southington Hunt Club here in Ohio. Nathan, talk about Snipers Unknown.
So I shot one of their matches last year. Me and Zach are kind of trying different things. So Snipers Unknown is going to be a team match. So it'll be two guys. You're going to shoot scenarios, blind stages. You'll need rangefinders. The game is much different than PRS. And there's not really anything like that in the region. So I worked with Ortiz, kind of lined up the right people, made the connections to try and make that happen. And then we're title sponsoring it. So it's the Area 419 Snipers Unknown Challenge at Southington, which is kind of near Akron. And that's June 17th, 18th. So a month away, basically.
We've spent years shooting in PRS matches, both true PRS or some NRL product, some rimfire product, and for us getting into the sniper style match, Nathan and Zach have shot a decent number of them now, was about reaching a new community, because that's a smart thing for us to do as a business, but also about seeing different ways that people apply tactical marksmanship with their rifle, whether that's some product needs, some product demands. We've learned some things. We're going to talk to you guys about the one-piece scope mount in a little bit, and that has very much influence that's come in from these types of matches, different equipment needs, different gear needs. So these sniper matches are really cool. They're a little bit different game, different flavors for different folks. What do you like? What do you not? These seem to be a little bit more heady. You're using maybe a pistol a little more, different style engagement. PRS is it's the
is
race, right?
shooting.
It's
It's pure
pure shooting, pure game. Get in a position, shoot quickly, move, think on the clock. But it's pretty raw, right? It is what it is. These sniper matches can have quite a bit of variability.
Yeah, I think sniper matches they remind me of the old outlaw stuff, but they're all different. So you're never going to know what you're doing. You're coming in blind. Formula One, PRS is kind of how I look at those.
Yeah.
Like, it's very cut and dry, and it's the best shooters arguably in the world shooting, but it's a different game.
Yeah.
And I think the thought process that goes into the sniper matches is a lot of fun to me.
Layering in a little bit of field craft along with that raw shooting. And on the PRS side, which we still obviously feel very strongly about and love, we are sponsoring the Hoosier Hellfire in Indiana at the end of July.
And we shot in February. They had the Frostbite match. It's a new range, so if you guys shot Frostbite 2 years ago, it's not there. It's a different place in Butlerville, which is very close. It was a field in the winter, but they've got berms and stuff now, so I learned some lessons there. But yeah, they've done range improvements. They got a new road, new props, berms, everything going on there. So we're title sponsoring that as well. Probably be some cool stuff on the prize table.
And Adam and Fred are good match directors. They've built a great series there in Southern Indiana, and the 2-day matches they put on in the last couple of years have been really, really good. So this match is fairly local to us. We really like those guys, and we're excited to be able to jump into sponsorship of this the way that we can. So the next thing, when we get into shooting, we had for a long time. We spent a lot of time and energy on Team Area 419. We had a handful of guys. We were wearing jerseys. We were traveling. We were developing a true shooting team. As we've changed organizationally, the idea of the team has also grown and changed. So one of the things that we're excited about introducing to you today, right now, is Team Area 419 on Patreon. So we've got a little bit of a pre-record that we're going to show you on this so you can learn about what we are doing. This year on Area 419 Day, we're reintroducing something that was pretty important to us in times past. Our Team Area 419. But this year, it's different. We're opening up Team Area 419 to include you. On Patreon, we're going to have a channel that includes exclusive discounts, product access, product testing, and premium content to let you better know what we're doing and for us to better serve you, our customers, and the members of our team. If you want to be a member of that team, in April it's just $1, and then past that it's $10 a month. That'll get you a standing discount, product access, content access, and live access to our team so that we can connect with you in brand new ways. If you want to know more about this, jump down to the link in the comments or stick around on the live stream here and ask us questions. We'd love to answer them, and we want to make this opportunity to be on the team together as value-driven as possible. So Team Area 419 on Patreon. This is very much a new one for us. And for us, it's a new way to connect with customers, to provide exclusive access and deals and details and merch and gear for those that really want it. And it's also a way for us to look at how we distribute high information, high value content. So if you're part of Team Area 419, what are you looking at? What are you going to get? It's going to be a $10 a month premium access Patreon channel that includes a handful of things that are pretty cool. First of all, free merch. We're going to do Sticker Club. If you are a member of Team Area 419 on May 2nd, so you're signed up by May 1, you're going to get something cool from what we're going to call the Sticker Club. This is a quarterly selection of stickers. It's a little thing, but they're cool. Nathan, who was just here with me, when he came on the team and we called him, we said, Nathan, what do you want to do with your life? And he said, I don't know, make dope memes. So we've always tried to continue to do cool stuff, continue to have cool things like that to go out to people. You want to be part of the Sticker Club? That's a part of it. It's also a place that you can receive exclusive coupons, exclusive discounts. So like a 5% plus free shipping is going to be our continuing discount for anybody that's a part of Team Area 419. You're also going to get early access to new product releases. If we're going to release a product on Wednesday of any given week, you're probably going to find that on the Patreon channel on Monday. So if you want to get that first order in, you want to be early on the pre-order list, that's a great way to do it. We're also going to take new products, of which we are going to show you some of here shortly, And when those products need to be field tested, they're probably going to be going out to our patrons before they are anyone else. This is a good place for us to send you something. You can go out and test it. You can abuse it. You can break it. You can tell us what you like about it. You can tell us what you don't. And that's going to be a cluster of people that have access to that in our premium Patreon channel. Let's see, what else do we have in that list? So, guys, if you go to the Patreon link, you're going to find a list of, here are the things you're looking at. One of them, though, that's important, haven't touched on, and you're going to see a preview of here, is some exclusive high information content. So we've recorded a Reloading 101, kind of a core elements of precision rifle reloading class. This is in several sections. It's more than an hour of heavy instruction. And we're going to go ahead and play just the introductory video for you right now. Hey guys, it's Craig at Area 419. I'm excited to join you and share with you our class on the core elements of precision rifle reloading. As we get into these core elements of precision rifle reloading, I want to make clear what our goal is here. We want anybody watching this video with any basic understanding of what reloading is to be able to take what we're teaching here and turn their reloading practices, whether they are long developed or just beginning, into something that's going to be more consistent and lead them to what may be higher performing precision match ammunition for their rifle. This is not bulk reloading 101. We're not going to figure out how to save an extra penny a piece on a 5.56 or a 9mm load. There's a lot of content for that, and that's a great way to reload. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're going to use premium tools, high-end components, and take extra steps to make sure that the ammunition that we are producing here is really, really good. Really is as good as anybody could make. Now, there are going to be times that we talk about a practice or an idea or a method here that you might not agree with, and that's okay. There's no one way to do this. If you jump into a forum on 6MMBR or on an F-class page or in a PRS page, you're gonna find more opinions than people on how somebody might or might not reload. So these are the best practices that we've found in our own competitive shooting journeys that produce pretty good ammo. And if you've got an idea of something that can be done differently, that's why we're here. Drop something in the comments, or if you're on Patreon, drop it in the forum there. And let's discuss what has worked for you and what maybe hasn't. As we walk through these elements, we're going to talk about how we prep our brass. That's actually 2 sections. We're going to talk about how we prime, how we charge, how we seat, some tips and tricks along the way on how we find critical data points, and ultimately what we like to do with our ammo after. We're not going to cover a few things, and we're going to tell you why. Please understand that reloading is inherently dangerous. We're going to work through a process here that is going to ultimately result in putting a loaded round of ammunition into the chamber of a rifle, pulling the trigger, and sparking an explosion which drives a projectile at give or take 3,000 feet per second. Again, this can be dangerous. So understand that we're not going to talk to you about setting a charge weight or finding one. Your powder manufacturer is the best way to find that information. Also understand that by watching this video and doing anything that we show you, you are assuming the risk that comes in reloading. It's something that we know can be done very well, but also always will have inherent danger. Firearms are tools, but they do include risks. So understand that when you get into reloading, you are taking some of that risk into your own hand. And guys, here we go. We're going to get into the core elements of precision rifle reloading from Area 419, one at a time. And the next thing we're going to get into, we're going to talk about brass prep. So we talked about Team Area 419. We're excited to have you there on the Patreon page. And now let's talk about what's probably the thing that most of you really came for. Let's talk new products. As we get into these, know that some of what we're talking about, you can't buy it today. You can go to the website and you can jump into the wait list for those products so that you can get updates when they are in stock. We'll drop those in the comments of the different streams. Oh, I don't know, John, what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about clamp, or you want to talk about scope mount?
Yeah, we'll talk about the clamp first.
All right, this is a new Arc-A-Lock clamp coming pretty soon, and the big one here is that it's a lever clamp. So it's a 3-position lever clamp. Early on, when we got into Arc-A-Lock clamps, the real magic of the clamp was, John, you figured out how to make a 2-stage screw that allowed a person to either tighten really tightly with a lot of leverage or to loosen a clamp very quickly to get it off of a rail. And we didn't want to come out with a new clamp, a new design, until we thought we could do something meaningfully better.
Yeah. It was always tricky with the Arca lock. We wanted to continue to incorporate that into the new clamp because that's what makes us different and better than other clamps on the market is the mechanical locking feature. So this clamp allows us to do both. We can incorporate Arca lock. You can take the pins out and it works with non-Arca lock. Closed position, obviously locked, and then you get the middle position where you can slide it down the rail but it won't come off the rail, and third position where you can peel it off without sliding. So other than that, it's basically identical form factor to our knob clamp. Slightly lower profile on the side, obviously, because the knob's not sticking out.
Yeah, so
similar weight, all that kind of stuff.
that 3 position John was talking about. So here we're obviously locked. This is an adjustable tension lock, so it, whether you've got an Arca rail, be it ours or anyone else's, it's on the small side of tolerance, on the large side of tolerance, it can go and it can find that. It is Arca lock. So what's different about our rails, if you don't know this, is we've got some locking teeth built into the rail that will allow our Arca lock clamps to mechanically bind or mechanically fix inside these little divots. One of the problems that we have with Arca on its face is that it is by nature a friction-based system. So the only thing keeping your clamp in place from forward back in true standard Arca is how tight you go and how much friction you create. So John's idea years ago was, how do we take something and really lock in but still maintain virtually all of that adjustability? So here we are locked. This is in place. We've got Arca lock clamping force. This thing's going nowhere. So that's our lock position. We then have a sliding position where this pops out to 90 degrees, and we can slide back and forth on the rail. So you have that adjustability, but it's not going to come off. Then in position 3, all the way open, you can take one straight off the clamp. So you're all the way off, kind of your quick detach there in the all the way loose position, and then back to sliding position that's not going anywhere, or obviously to locked. If you need to change tension, that's a built-in knob right there next to your lever clamp that's going to give you a pretty substantial range of adjustment in the product.
One other feature we added that I don't think any other lever clamps give you the ability to do is the attachment point for the pin to the clamp is user removable, so you can flip the lever around for right or left hand depending on which way you want to activate the clamp. So that's one little feature that we were able to add that we thought was cool.
Guys, this is one that we've got a handful of these in the field being tested. If you're part of our Patreon channel, in the next couple weeks, we'll probably release a handful more of these to get out in the field and get into use. This is probably going to be a $120 or $125 product. It's got some complexity to it in manufacturing there's greater than the knob clamp, but this is something we see with availability in the summer. So if it's something you're interested in, we'll drop links in the comments. You can go and get on the wait list for this, so that as soon as they're ready to go, as soon as you're ready to get one of these, you'll be among the first to know. So go ahead and find that link in the comments. Item number 2, the other big one. By the way, if there's anything we talk about or anything you see on the site that you're interested in, use code 419day23, and we'll put it up on the screen so you can see it. You'll get 10% off anything on the site, except for the Special Forces Charitable Trust. $0, no discounts on that. It's a charitable thing. Don't try to be cheap for charity. Anything's 10% off plus free shipping, and our apparel section, as is normal on 419 Day, is heavily discounted. So you can go get some gear kind of on the cheap there. Next one up, let's talk about scope mount. So our match rings have been in circulation and orderable for a couple of months now. And we talked even then when we released it, the one piece was definitely coming. The one piece is born out of, like what we talked about with the sniper matches. There are different demands in different settings, right? So our one-piece tactical mount was built around the idea One of, we think that our diving board retention, that we're not going to talk deeply about today because we're finalizing some things and making sure that it's exactly what we want and reproducible on scale exactly the way we want. Our diving board retention is really, really good. So one of the rifles that I have with me on hand here, this is Nathan's sniper match gun, and an important part of this is the big hunk of beautiful, expensive electronics on top, the Raptor from Wilcox. Having a good diving board system and how we retain it, and having it be repeatable and stay on aim even as it's jostled around or beat around, and then that system being modular was important. So as we get into more and more information on the one-piece mount, that attachment is really important. And the way the rings are made, and John, you can talk about, is just like on the match scope rings. It's arduous, it's over the top, but it's the right way.
Yeah, so the way we thought was the best way to make rings, if you don't know about the match rings, is they go through a 3-step process. So we machine the bases and the caps separately, rough machine the bore. They go out to anodize, they come back, they get assembled with precision shims in between the base and the cap. They go back in the machine and they get final bored as a set. So the 2 rings, if you're buying the match scope rings, the 2 rings you get were bored next to each other. All the pieces were in the machine together. They actually don't even get disassembled before they go in a box. They get cleaned, and you got the rings exactly how they came out of the machine. They get serialized, all that stuff, after machining. The one-piece mount, basically the same thing, other than the bases are not separate. We machine the base, the caps, we send them out for anodize, we bring them back, we assemble them, and we bore them finally. What you'll get is a raw scope mating interface, and the rest will be black. We felt that was the best way to go about this process, and we carried it right over to the one-piece mount.
Another thing that we did with the one-piece mount that we thought was useful for a lot of people is we have brought in the mounting cleats or the mounting feet, 1 pick section each, so that if you're a person that runs a Sindit level, or you've got something, a data board that's coming off the side of your pick section, or you just want a little bit more adjustment as to whether you can mount your optic a little bit forward or a little bit rearward, having these mounting feet in a slot each is going to give you a little bit more versatility there. And this is also something that, while it's a big, heavy one piece, it's not specifically lightweight, has been made in a very weight-efficient manner. So it is going to be at or below weight of its peers, and is going to give you a feature suite that's pretty nice. Again, it's got our mounting points at several places throughout the system. This is something that accessories, we've got the short pick rail sections, but more coming as far as levels. We've got that mounting interface open source, and we know some people are working on some products. We want this to be something that no matter who you are, if you're in the industry or you want to 3D print something for yourself or whatever you want to do, you'll have access to that. Yeah, and we don't feel like we need to be proprietary in what's coming off the side of the mount. A lot of people have good ideas. We don't have some monopoly on smart ideas for things that you can hang off of a gun. So this is something that's open and available. And we think that this is going to be a really nice mount for people that want to make sure their optic is mounted true, and want to make sure that all of their parts and pieces are true to one another on a repeating basis. So that's the scope mount. Again, the one-piece tactical scope mount. This is a summer product for us. I would expect these. You'll get more updates on them. Again, if you're part of the Team Area 419 page on Patreon, good chance you might have a shot at getting one early. These are coming soon. We think they'll be a really good piece of kit. Other new products, other new things to think about. M-series sizing dies. They've gone well for us. We've got another batch of the sleeves coming. We will not only have a restock of 6.5 Creedmoor, 6 Creedmoor, 6 GT, 6 Dasher. Those will all be available. We've also got a new suite of calibers that we're going to have availability for, including 6.5 47, 308, 6.5 PRC, and 300 PRC are all in process now. If you've not put hands on one of these, these are really nice. The M series sizing die is the only one on the market that you can micrometer adjust your headspace on the die. It's got a reamer cut internal chamber, so our size is very good. We worked with Alpha Munitions on making sure that when we're sizing brass, we're sizing all the brass, sizing it the way that it was truly meant to be sized. Nobody knows more about sizing brass than brass manufacturers, and when we linked up with them, they thought, how do we get this to size brass the way that we would like brass to be sized for continuing success of people putting these in their rifles? So we've worked with them on reamer design, making sure that when you size a piece of brass in an Area 419 sizing die, it is exactly the way the manufacturer thinks it ought to be coming out of that die. We've also got the interchangeable sleeve kits that will be on the website in the next couple of days. Still in time for this sale, so be on the lookout for those. We will email you. That means that you can take your M series sizing die, and if you've got a GT and you're thinking about adding a dasher to the stable or any of the different cartridges, you'll be able to take the top off your M series die, swap out your internal sizing sleeve, and with that same body for a much lower incremental cost, have multiple cartridges that you can size in that sleeve. Mandrel kits are also live on the website now. This means that our internal sizing mandrels that set your neck tension in your brass, you can update those. So everything ships with a mandrel that gives you about 2 thousandths of neck tension on size. If you want less or even a little bit more neck tension, those mandrel kits are available, and they come with an extra decapping pin. Not that you'll ever break a decapping pin, but if you do something dumb, you might. Another product as we're going through this. Yep.
A question, will micrometer dies be offered in 7/8? No.
Nope.
Just impossible to fit all the components that are required to do the micrometer adjustment. We will offer just a standard 7/8 die that you adjust normally, but not the micrometer adjustment. So.
Yeah, that's one of the, that's the reason that the M series die is on the 1.25" footprint. We simply needed more size diametrically to be able to get all the features that we wanted into that die and maintain appropriate strength in the process. We could have probably thinned some things out and gotten to the point of inconsistent band strength, but that's not the right way to make a die. It's not what we were going to do. Another new product exclusive on area419.com right now is the Spur Ideal Chassis System with Arc-A-Lock built into the handguard. Hawken and Ulf and the people at Mile High, they've been friends of ours for quite a long time. This thing came out. We've done a YouTube video of kind of our thoughts and reactions on it. We really like this chassis. Nathan and Zach are using them. They're the big advocates for them, the big lovers of them in the shop, and they did a really good job with the system. And when they came out, we said, Hawken, how do we get these in Arc-A-Lock? And we have them now. These are available today as of right now. You can go pick them up. They're eligible for the 10% off plus free shipping. So we'll go ahead and drop the link to these in the comments. If you want a Spur Ideal Chassis System with Arc-A-Lock in it, those are available now, and we think they're pretty cool. Oh, what else do we have?
Somebody asked, does it only come in black? We don't know what you're talking about, so if
I
you
believe
want to
that's.
clarify.
I think you're probably talking about the clamp. The clamp will be black. This tension ring will likely be some shade of gold. We want to keep our gold in everything, but this is not something that's going to be super aggressive. So this will largely be a black product, just like you would come to expect. It's going to be hard coat anodized. The adjustment ring is actually steel, so it will. We're going through a couple different little coatings to see exactly what we like to get the functionality and the utility as well as the look we want in it. But again, the clamp will be largely black, just like the scope mount. This thing will be all black, hard coat anodized, with the raw internal mating surface for the optic, just like our match scope rings. Let's see, color options, one piece. You can get it any color you like as long as it's black. Is the free shipping, the coupon on the charity press, there's no discounts on that. It's not a free shipping product. If you want that product, it's because you're interested in making a donation to the Special Forces Charitable Trust. If you just want a zero and you want to save some on it, go use 419day23, the code. You can save a little bit of money. But again, discounts on a charity product is a little bit upside down to us, so that's just not going to happen. We know we've sold several presses. We've got David, James, Trevor, Sheldon. We've got a handful of people who have already bought these. So guys, thank you. It means a lot to us that you are jumping in on this with us to make a donation to a very, very worthy cause. The ARCA clamp, as somebody asked, it's ARCA only. So just, the attachment is going to be very, very similar to our standard clamps. This is not an ARCA PIC hybrid. That is a cool piece of intellectual property that is patented and not by us. So you are getting an ARCA clamp here with the lever attachment. Let's see, guys. We're doing any additive manufacturing like 3D metal printing? Answer to that is no, not right now. We haven't found a product that really required it.
Typically, that's reserved for extremely complex, very expensive materials, Inconel, titanium, nickel alloys, things that you don't want to start with a giant block of and machine down. Aluminum is fairly cheap. It's better to make it out of billet. So suppressors probably be the only thing that would ever make sense for a company like us to 3D print, but we just haven't gotten into that. So not at this time.
Yeah, certain super complex or impossible to traditionally machine products, maybe you get into that additive, but that's not something we're doing right now. We've, again, looked at it, talked about it. If a product ever comes up that requires it, that we feel really strongly about, then you'll probably see it.
I think you can tell we don't skimp on buying machines around here. So if it's something that I decide I want one day or someone decides, we'll just buy it. So
I've got a real crush on DMG Mori. It's a 5-axis machine center that is an additive metal 3D printer where the entire trunnion moves over, the entire table moves over, and then you've got a vertical milling head for 5-axis, so you can 3D print in 5-axis and then turn around and do all your surface finishing and machining. One of the inherent flaws of 3D printing today, and I assume it's going to continue to get better and better, is your surface finishing after print is not gorgeous. It's got a little bit of a graininess to it. If you need a smoothness or anything, it's not there. So typically if you print something and then you want it to have a nice surface finish, you need to go in and machine it again after. So there's some tolerance stack issues there. I mean, there's cool use for it. It's just not something that we're certainly into. Ooh, another cool question just popped up. Tony wants titanium Hellfire stuff. Stay tuned. It's something we're playing with. We like that idea too. But again, we've had the mantra forever that until we're pretty comfortable with our ability to keep inventory and keep stock, we're not going to continue to release new products. We don't want to be the people that say, hey, here's all this cool new stuff. You can have it. Never. We always got frustrated as shooters of the new cool stuff at SHOT Show. It'd come out.
Next SHOT Show.
Yeah, you can have it in a year or in 18 months, or it never actually happens. That's you, Magpul. That's the waffle maker. We want it. But titanium Hellfire stuff is something that we're playing with. We like the nature of titanium. Yes, it's more expensive, but you guys understand that you pay for things. It also takes a really long time to machine and not just destroy tools. So right now our Hellfire products are largely made out of a 17.4 pre-hardened stainless, and there's some difficulty in manufacturing with 17.4. It's not as easy as some other steels to work with. Titanium is substantially more. It's less forgiving.
30%. You basically just have to slow everything down by 30%. So it takes 3 times as long to make something out of titanium as it does 17.4, which takes 3 times as long as it does to make something out of aluminum. So,
and we've got complex geometry in the brakes. I mean, we're using fairly small tools to be able to make all that geometry. So as we're pushing into something like titanium, understand that it's happening, it's coming, but it takes some time. So we agree with you, Tony. Let's see, manufacturing our own Remington 700 Action, not on the production schedule. Manufacturing an Action's a different beast. It's a different pile of parts of machines, wires and grinders, and that's something we haven't gotten into yet. Not to say that it can't ever happen.
Yeah.
But
the market has been fairly flooded in the last couple of years, so if we saw something where we could do something better that no one else is doing, we would certainly do it. But everybody's doing a pretty good job right now. The availability is there that wasn't there several years ago, so
you got
just doesn't make sense right now.
The really good players in this market have invested, and we're aware of the trials that Defiance went through at the beginning of the year. But it seems that the ownership there is continuing to invest, trying to right that ship the best way they can. You can have all the issues with maybe some of the ways they did things, fine, but they're working hard on it. Tate at Impact is making massive investments in being able to keep up with the demand he has on a really, really good product. And those are just two names of the several that are making good actions. And you've got people like, let's see, it's Arrow, and was it Falcor that's also making. We've got new players that are coming into this this custom 700 action space that I think are going to be really cool. There's a lot of availability there. Not something that's on our roadmap, but not something that might never happen. Just not coming now. Let's see, comparator set that was used on Ultimate Reloader. We're making them. They're in process. So the comparator set, not something I have in front of us because until they're made, we're not going to get too deep on them. But it is a headspace and or ogive comparator set that John's thought on this was. It's been frustrating for years too. If you go on Accurate Shooter or Sniper Sight or whatever and say, what should my headspace be on a datum gauge, or what should my cartridge-based ogive be on a datum gauge, it's all just a guess. You're using something.
Arbitrary numbers when shared across. Even two people that bought the same Hornady comparator can't really share data because a very, very small change in the diameter or the chamfer on the comparator bushing will produce a very large discrepancy in your overall length. So we wanted to make it where every single one is exactly the same. You can share data and it will actually mean something. They're made out of stainless or some kind of steel. I can't remember what we decided on. So that they will be durable and not wear out over time.
They're also reamer cut. Some verbiage that we'll use when we actually launch this product. Comparators are the thought of name in these because that's really all they are. Is I'm comparing my own brass to my own brass. Yeah. What we're looking at is moving toward the idea of this being gauging, and that means it's a true measurement device. It is on spec, it's on size, so that whether you are in Seattle or San Antonio or Serbia, we don't care where you are. You can take measurements, you can share them, and you can get a really, really consistent measurement with this product from one person to another, space to space. And we think that's a cool thing for shooters.
We should also be able to have a library for all the dies that we make that for a certain caliber, if you size it with this die, here's what your number should be for zero headspace or whatever. I think it'll be cool to be able to build a library like that actually means something, and you don't have different numbers for the same thing across different products. So.
Yeah, and caliper holder. A couple people asking about that. That's also coming. So we had the thought of how do we turn a caliper with a measurement gauge into a height gauge, which is something we have around here, where you've got a touch off that's running on measurement that goes up and down. It's a really cool heavy hunk of steel that the whole unit, your caliper flips up on top, flips upside down, sits in, it holds it. You've got a nice positive, sturdy lockup. That'll be something that's involved in that set too that you'll be able to order.
This is just one of those things, again, where we could have made 50 of them and started selling them 2 months ago, but we're building inventory so that when they go live, they're not sold out and then you can't get it for another 6 months. So everything is being made right now in large volumes, so once they come out, it's not going to have to be a rush to the finish to who gets the first one and wait another 6 months. So
somebody's looking for a single stage press. Fortunately, we have one. We've had it on the market for years, the Zero. The upside to that is the lockable turret allows you to hold multiple dies and change them super repeatedly. So if you really want a single stage press, go to area419.com. You've got a great image of the Zero right there you can click on. You can even save 10% through Sunday with code 419day23. Height and MOA options for the one piece. If you go to the listing for the one piece, it's in the comments. We'll drop it in the different feeds. You will actually be able to sign up for waitlist for the height, tube diameter, and cant or inclination of amount that you would like to have. That not only allows you to get relevant updates when these things are ready for purchase, but it also allows us to really know what people want, are interested in. It helps us with that first production run, because if we just have to guess, we can make fairly good guesses, but guesses are typically imperfect. So the better we can be with the information you're giving us on what height, size, things like that you want, the better we can be.
It's not a pre-order. You don't have to put any money down for it. You're just signing up to help us build our inventory better.
Yeah, you're attaching your your email to a SKU so that when it's ready, you can learn things about it. So guys, if you have any more questions, drop them in. I think that gets through most of our kind of pre-planned things to work through, but we've appreciated it. Appreciate the team here. Guys, this is, if you can't tell, it just seems like a set, but at some point on Instagram today, we'll post what this set looks like. It's been a culmination of a lot of work by the team, by Bryce, by Sarah, by Nathan, to do something pretty cool. We hope to be back here in this live set with you more often than not. Again, we haven't been live in 3 years. It's going to happen more and more because we think it's a good way for us to connect with you. If you don't understand one of the underlying things about our marketing, Facebook and Google, they won't take our money. They don't want our money. Our money's no good because they hate what we do for a living. They think that everything we do here is some version of toxic or dangerous, and they don't understand it. So we have to continually make investments in producing cool content that you want to see, you want to share, and it's not just us, it's any of the firearm companies that you know and support. The best thing you can do for us, like this video, share this video, make sure you're subscribed, turn on bell notifications if you're on YouTube, because those things not only help us reach you, the forces that be in Silicon Valley and on the left coasts that really despise us, they love to shadow ban. They love to find ways to keep us from reaching you. So whether that's, again, subscribe to notifications or you are on our email list, if you go to area419.com, that pop-up that comes up, if you're not already in there or if you're not already a customer, making sure you're connected with us by email is another way for us to consistently reach you guys and make sure that we're getting you the things that you might want or need to hear. And that's, again, what the Patreon channel and Team Area 419 is about. We want to have better access through a channel that is not interested in limiting us or shadow banning us or making it impossible for us to reach you. If you want to be involved with us, you want to continue to get those updates, make sure that our channels, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, they're all subscribed to and you've got notifications on for each of them. So I think that gets almost everything. I've got a note here. We need to talk about our small rail, our Mark 22 rail. So in the Arcalock family, I think this is a 10-incher. We've got a ton of different lengths from the long one I think is 15-inch right now, down 17-inch right now is the long one, down to the small rail, which is just kind of a little square you can put on the bottom of a camera or a rangefinder or the bottom of a lab radar or some things like that. The small rail, SMAL. Yeah, oh, throw it to me. Hands. This guy's great if you're looking for just something simple to bolt onto either a single section of M-LOK. So let's say you have a carbine or something that's fairly small, you want to be able to drop into a tripod to varmint hunt and drop that in, or we've got the little O-ring and center screw interface if you want to get into the bottom of, let's say, a camera or a rangefinder. We also have a rail now for the Mark 22 system. This is the Barrett MRAD that has the new M-LOK forend that you're seeing in large amounts of issue to the armed forces right now. Can we talk about the match that it was on the winning gun of, Nathan?
ISC.
Yeah, International Sniper Comp. Of the team that won that, one of them, Ben Cotton had a Mark 22, one of our rails on the bottom of his gun. That's a cool addition. It's always really cool for us to see those guys who we know those. When we go shoot a match, we just got rifles, right? Those guys are taking their work guns out with them. These are things that are issued to them. These are things that lives depend on. And for us to have products that are part of those systems and being used at a high level, either in competition or in dangerous places, it's a huge honor. It's a crazy thing to sit here and think about. Let's see. Any new reloading kit or any new reloading equipment coming with Reloading 101? You'll certainly see the Headspace and Ogive gauge set. You'll see the dies. I think we might use the seating die. Series seating die is it's pretty modular.
Yeah, it uses 75% of the same parts as the sizing die, so change a couple things out, changed the sleeve out for basically a chamber reamed sleeve instead of a sizing sleeve, and it's just something that we haven't had the capacity to start making the parts for that yet, so that's the only reason it isn't for sale, because it does already exist in a workable manner. So
Yeah,
you'll see those later this year probably.
and that was a manufacturing decision for us as far as can we make more of these parts crossover to reduce the number of individual parts that we need to produce as an organization. It's also something that you guys, if you had one and wanted to convert it to another, you could also do.
On that same note, I mean, we haven't really talked about the S series, which
Yep.
is a 7/8 die. Kind of the same thing. Obviously, the body is different because it's threaded instead of smooth, but the mandrel and the spring-loaded decapper and the decapping pin, all of those are the same parts that's shared with the M series. So we basically have to make 2 new parts for the S series. The only hurdle that we're waiting for on the S series is just manufacturing capacity. We've sold a lot of M series, but we expect to sell 10 times as many S series because it's just every reloading press on the market can handle that versus the M series. So we're just waiting until we're ready to make that jump into that kind of volume.
Yeah, I mean, the only key difference, and it's a major difference, but the key difference between an M series and an S series is that M. It's that micrometer head. Being able to adjust your headspace with a micrometer, it adds complexity, it adds cost. We understand that it's a very different product that may not be for everybody, but if it is for you, there's nothing else like it on the market.
Yeah.
If it's not for you, the S series dies are something that you'll see this summer. They will be at a price that it's a lot more manageable for people, and you're still going to get a really good on-size die with an internally ground neck sizing mandrel, the spring decapping. It's going to give you a really, really solid size and piece of brass, and it's just removing a single feature that adds a fair amount of cost and complexity. Let's see, Area 419 bipod, not something on the roadmap. Not to say that it's impossible or will never happen, but it's not something that we're working on at this point. There's some cool stuff out there. There's some less seen stuff. Obviously, Atlas is a great bipod. We use them. We have for a long time. Skypod's cool unit. The Thunder Beast unit is really cool. And there's a lot of stuff on the market. You can convert a Harris, and Harris has been doing a good job for a really, really long time.
One of our mottos around here is always, we're not just going to make something just to make something. I mean, we do occasionally, but we're always going to make something that's better.
Yeah, stuff like this. Iterations on Arc-A-Lock. Yeah, sometimes we make a different length just to make a different length. Fine. But the underlying principle of Arc-A-Lock being different in a fundamental way is important. When we made the rings, we were manufacturing them in a way that nobody else is manufacturing them because we thought it was important.
The Zero, nothing like it exists.
Nothing close.
The Hellfire, nothing like it existed at the time with its attachment method.
It's still nothing like it.
If we have a great idea for a bipod that nobody else is doing, we'll make it, but we don't have it right now. So
parts between the M series die and S series die, answering a question, the only interchangeable parts will be the mandrel and decap pin. Your sleeves will not be interchangeable because the S does not have sleeves. So in reality, while the M is a little bit more upfront expenditure, the idea of being able to swap that out caliber to caliber over a range can alter the per caliber cost. Versus an S series die, if that's a 6.5 Creedmoor S series die, that just is what it is. I mean, you can change neck tension with a mandrel, but they are what they are. Inner sleeves in the next few days, they will not include 6BR. They will be the standard cartridges that we have available to buy right now on the M series website. So
we will eventually, correct me if I'm wrong, have blank inner sleeves where you can have your gunsmith ream them out if you're some caliber that we don't feel the need to offer because we'll only sell one of them. So that will come eventually.
Yeah, custom dies are not on the agenda. We're not going to do them. We went to great lengths to make sure that our reamer designs for the dies that we're going to put out in broad numbers were really, really correct. Yeah. This means that anybody shooting 6.5 Creedmoor, 6 Creedmoor, or Dasher, or GT can buy this, know that it's made to a specific standard, the SAMI standard, or in Dasher's case, basically what Lapua Dasher or Alpha Dasher wants to be, and get something really consistent. If you have a Wildcat or have a different spec you want or anything like that, cool, do it. Buy your own die reamer. Go to your gunsmith. They can buy they'll buy piloted, ready to go sleeves that have the geometry to take our mandrels. So really all you've got to do is punch a reamer into it, get your own size, and you can attach it to the system. So if you're a wildcatter or want something different, go ahead. One thing that I'm being told to remind about is the idea of the let's see, is it still back here? Get the black press. The Special Forces Charitable Trust limited edition presses. If you missed this, guys, we have a special edition black 0 reloading press that is going to make a significant contribution with every one of them. $1,000 out of every order of one of these goes to the Special Forces Charitable Trust and their Beyond the Battlefield initiative to supply mental and emotional health resources to members of the Special Forces community coming back from the battlefield. There are only 25 of these made. So if you want one, go ahead and get it on order. We expect these will last a day, maybe. We know we've already got a run of them that have sold. 5 of them have sold, so we're 20% of the way through that. If you want one of these, order it right now. They're all coming with the hybrid head on it. They're blacked out. They are really, really sexy. And if you want one of these, this is a way to do it. You're doing good with your purchase, and basically your purchase pays for a $1,000 contribution to the Special Forces Charitable Trust and the raw materials that you're holding in your hand. So guys, we're in on this one with you. We're writing that check. We want to be able to do some good for those that we can never repay, but this is a chance to do it. The last question we'll take here is the case eject system for the Zero. It's not something we plan on making. We worked with the team at Inline Fab, and we're told that they wanted to make something for it. If somebody else wants to make a case eject system, let us know. We'll be helpful to you. Bending spring steel is not really our game. We're good at a handful of things. We know what we're good at, but we're also not too proud to admit that there are certain things that we don't deeply understand or aren't deeply good at or haven't invested the time to get good at now. So if you want a case eject system, call Inline or somebody like that. They're really good at it. They do it for other systems, and we expected it to exist for the Zero now. Eric Lusk is our first Team Area 419 member. It's been on the screen for a little bit, but thank you, Eric, and to any of you guys that want to be part of Team Area 419, our premium Patreon channel. We've got 9 of them now, so we're growing some momentum there. It's $1 for your first month in April, only because Patreon wouldn't let us go to 0 through the month. And as we get into the first part of May, we'll have some cool stuff that comes in, some exclusive content, again, sticker club, exclusive discounts, exclusive merch and apparel that you can get a hold of. So we'd love for you guys to be a part of it.
Ever since the rings came out, every time we talked about them, there was comments about 35 millimeter. Those are coming.
I think you should be able to buy them now. We lasered them. I think they're available.
Yep. We've also got some light hunt 2-piece rings coming. That'll be later this summer, probably.
I want to have them out by hunt season,
Yeah.
but we'll see. So hopefully that's a late summer product that gets out. That's all I got. Don, anything else? Nathan, Bryce, Sarah, Zach, Tyler, somebody type quickly if you've got something else. But guys, we're going to wrap up the stream. We've been at this for about an hour. We really appreciate you joining us, and we'll spend more time with you before long. So anything else you need, make sure you follow along Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We'll have different updates and rehash of some of this throughout the day. But we really appreciate you guys being with us.
Thanks.